Oh, good evening, friends.
Good evening.
Oh, that was good. Welcome to this Thursday night at Littleport Spiritualist Church. It's nice to see so many of you here. We are, some of us a bit wet because it's raining, but we are here tonight to lift your spirits and to give you proof of life eternal. And to that end, I would like to introduce you to our medium for this evening, Claire.
Hi, everyone.
Quadling.
Quadling.
Claire Quadling. Just one thing I'd like to say before we go on to the opening prayer. Just please be careful in the middle because there's been some water spilt, so I don't want to see any of you doing a Bambi on ice. So as this is a divine service, we will open in prayer. I'll hand you over to Claire.
Okay. Hello again, everybody. Lovely to see you all. Okay, if we could close our eyes, open our hearts and our minds as we open this service in prayer. Dear Father God, Divine Spirit, please can I ask that this service this evening is given with warmth, reflection, happiness and joy. Please can I ask, Father, that our musical chant this evening to bring the two worlds together, to bring through messages from the spirit world to loved ones here who are in need. Can I also ask, Father, that each and every one of us here takes something from this service tonight, whether it be from the reading, from the healing, from a message, or just from the wonderful energy that we create. And lastly, Father, please can I ask that this service is given in love and in thy name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Claire. Right, I've got some notices for you all. A little birdie tells me that it's somebody's birthday today. Yvette. Yeah. And due to time-honoured positions say that Nick is going to lead you in song, because if I do it, I'm called the get rid of your track. I can't sing.
After three. 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday
to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Yvette. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday. Thank you, Nick. Right, notices. Workshop, not this Sunday, but next. And it will be in the little room over there, and it's £15. If any of you have never been to one, they're great. I love them. So please come along. It's £15. The Sunday after that, we've got drumming in the little room over there, which is £5. And the workshop is 10:30 till 3:30. I've got it written down. And the drumming is 10 till 1, and that's £5. And we do shamanic drumming. I've got spare drums if anybody wants to come along who hasn't got one. And then afterwards, after drumming, about an hour and a half of drumming, we will be entertaining the lovely Joanne Sands. She's going to do some medium work with us. So I'm really, really looking forward to that one. Nick has several workshops online. I don't know if any of you have only been, I know one of you has, a couple of you have. They're really good, actually. If you want to come along to speak to Nick, he's got them on Mondays, Tuesdays, Fridays, and occasionally a Sunday. To speak to Nick. They're really, really enjoyable. And you do actually learn a lot, even I have to admit that. So that's enough from me. I think that's all the notices that I've got, unless Nick's got something I don't know about. So So you don't miss out. I'll hand you over to Reverend Nick for his philosophy for the evening.
So you thought you'd got away with it, hadn't you? Something's going on there. It's all right now. Right. Good evening, everyone, and thank you all, as Eunice said, for coming tonight. And it is a wonderful pleasure to see new faces, familiar faces, and returning faces. It's always wonderful to see so many people turn up to support our guest mediums, because that's what it's really about, and support this venture, this church, this adventure. This part of the service is the message from Spirit for everyone, as we frequently say so often as mediums. But none more so from my part this week. One of the focuses that I'm drawn to talk about is those events that we experience throughout the week. And the one thing that I have noticed crop up time and time again is fear of the unknown. Fear is, if you're a fan of Dune, especially now the second movie's out, fear, they say in Dune, is the mind killer. Well, what does that mean for us? It means fear is the thing that drives us loopy, drives us nuts, and forgets who we are inside. Fear is the unknown. Fear is that missing variable. And if we think for a second that we will always have those unknown and missing variables at our disposal in life, we haven't been paying attention. Because this whole world is filled with unknowns. Our whole lives are filled with unknowns. We are quite often described in this way of life as occult. And it's one of those words that drives people loopy. Oh, they do strange things. I promise you, the only time that the chairs start spinning and the curtains start floating are either because somebody over there has been playing with fishing wire again, or we've added too many sauces before the service. Spirit have nothing to do with it. But there are unknowns and there are unusual things in the world. Not because they are strange or dark or ridiculous, but simply because we do not understand them. And ironically, that is what occult, the word, actually means. It just means unknown. Of course, the most important thing to learn about the unknown is what hides behind that curtain of unknown. And that is what we do here week in, week out. That is what we do in workshops, in drumming circles, in circles about development of mediumship and healing. It's what we do every Thursday when we come to see one of our visiting mediums, like tonight with Claire. We seek, we search. And just every so often, when the moons are aligned, when the stars are shining and everything sits right, we understand. Because we are singers, shapers, dreamers and makers. We are here to search. And in searching, we find. But not everything. Not always. And that can be quite frustrating and still add to fear. But the point is not the destination, but the journey, the search. Life would be boring if it was balanced and steady. Life would be boring if we knew everything, because it is the adventure of the search that keeps us going. And in times when that journey is difficult, in times when that journey is hard, the most important thing to do is remember we have each other. Not to push our way or lash out or get frustrated. But remember, we're all in the same boat. And that good ship, Spirit, is sailing us to a wide blue yonder of destination. But we have to remember that we're all in it together. No one higher or lower, to the right, to the left, to the side or above or below. The universe of spirit is interpenetrating. They are around us and with us and within us at all times. And so are we. We are the living spirit, spirit made manifest. And we have to remember that we play as much part in that adventure, that search, that seeking, and that finding. And just like the good ship HMS Spirit, every ship needs a crew. And we are that crew. And every crew knows that they have to work together. They have to sail trusting, supporting, and keeping an eye out for each other. Checking each other, has tied up their masts and spliced their main braces. What does that mean? Keep each other's backs, support each other, pick each other up when we are down, look after each other when we are able to. Because we are the living spirit. And the world of spirit frequently and constantly says, we are here to make heaven on earth. We can't do that if we don't look after each other. And we can't do that if we don't support each other. So remember, my friends, blue skies, clear seas, get up in that crow nest and look out for land. Because it's about the journey, not the destination. So keep searching, and I know together we can find. Thank you all for listening, and God bless you all.
Thank you, Nick. Right, there's reading now, and we'll see how that ties in with the philosophy. And tonight, instead of having me do it, we've got the lovely Mandy going to do it for us. So as she gets mic'd up, please welcome to the front, Mandy.
This fits in perfectly. Live your life with no regrets. Life hands you obstacles that put you out of place. Do not run and hide. Life is something you need to face. Live each day with a purpose. Do what you want to do. Dream those big dreams and fight to make them come true. Life can be wonderful if you live it right. So full of happiness if you're willing to put up the fight. There will be times of troubles where you'll want to scream and cry. But remember, every second is precious. So dust yourself off and hold your head up high. Have fun and laugh and follow your heart. Be around the ones you love and not a moment apart. Live life by the moment, even if you jump and fall. Live your life with no regrets, or you never live at all.
Thank you, Mandy. That was really, really good. And didn't it tie in? Oh, didn't it tie in? Yes, yes. We might get you to do that again, Mandy. That was lovely. Thank you. Right, now it's time of our service where we do a part of it that's really important to me and to the rest of us, I think. It's our healing. So can we please ask Tony to the front and he will explain to you what he wants you to do. Thank you, Tony.
Thank you. Oh, my word, what a motley crew. First of all, names from the healing book. Kathy and David, John, Sylvia, Pauline and Alan, Roger and Sheila, Kelly's puppies, all 12 of them, Mags, Stephen and Jackie. And since he's not here, Chris, it's time you were not skulking at home. He'll know who it is and he'll know why I've said it. Yes, this is the time where we do a little bit of in-service healing. It's very important for us, those of us that are here regularly, that we do this. And I always say a few words. It's very simple. Simply, Great Spirit, there are healers here. There are recipients that need healing. Please put the two together. So if you'd like some healing right now, just raise your arm. Thank you. If you're a healer, find an arm that's raised and go to it. One there, one there. I'll go over there. Nick, can you do one? Who's gone where? You've gone there. I'll go to Barry. Yeah? No, we're fine. Oh, looks like we're on form. Thank you very much. There, I'll be there. We're good to go. Thank you, healers. If you can just bring yourselves back. And as I say every week, thanks to those of you who asked for all sorts of reasons. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. Right, thank you, Tony. Now we come to the part of the evening which is equally as important to a lot of us people here, and that is to get messages from ones that have gone before, from loved ones, from people we know. It's important that we get this evidential evidence. And tonight, we've got the lovely Claire who's going to do that for us. So please welcome Claire.
Thank you, everybody. Again, lovely to see you all here tonight. Okay, so some of you will have seen me work before, but there's some faces that I'm not quite sure about. So you haven't. So for those purposes, I'll tell you how I work. The way Spirit work with me is clairvoyantly, clairaudiently and clairsentiently. So I see spirit in my mind's eye. I hear spirit as well, and I can feel spirit. So they will put images and pictures into my head. I'll see them. They'll also give me names and dates. They'll show me images that hopefully are relevant to whoever the message is for. If I do come to you, if I could have your voice, and if I could have yeses, that would be great. No's is also okay. If it's a no, then I'll just have to go back and try and get some more information that pinpoints it slightly better for you. The way that spirit also worked with me is that I have no idea who I've got until I start working. So if you could just bear with me a second, I will get my first communicator. Okay, who have we got? Okay, so I've got a gentleman with me, and I believe that this gentleman was father, or he was like a father. I feel that this gentleman, he's making my throat feels constricted, and it feels as though I can't swallow. So I feel that he would have passed to the spirit world with some sort of a throat condition. I'm not quite sure. It feels like he had obstruction there. This gentleman, I would say, is probably about 5'10", 5'11". He's not quite 6 foot. He's of normal build, and he's presented himself to me. He's presented himself quite smartly: trousers, a shirt, and a jacket. And I feel that is what he would. That's what he would wear when he would go out. Does anybody understand that with father, with the throat? No? You're looking at me, and then no, lady at the back. It could be. So what do you understand? The problem with the throat, okay. And do you understand that as father? But like a father, you were close to him. Okay, and can you take the description that I gave you as well? His height, and I would say he was normal build, and he would always dress quite smartly. And I also feel that he would have dressed quite smartly for his work as well. I don't know if you knew what he did for a job, but I do feel that this was his day-to-day attire. I feel that he was he was a well-read man. He was an intelligent man, I feel. But I also feel with him as well that he was quite he had quite a gentle soul. He wasn't someone who was outwardly loud. Would you understand that? I'm not saying that he was reserved, but he wasn't really outgoing sort of thing. He was a little bit reserved, but he was. I do feel that he had a really good sense of humour as well. Would you understand that with him? Yeah, I do feel that he did, and I do feel that it was quite a dry sense of humour as well, you know. And I do feel also with him, he's saying to me that he thought he was good, but he could tell a turn, he could tell a joke or two. And I also feel with him that he was an interesting man to listen to. I feel he was very well educated, and he was very knowledgeable as well. He knew lots of things, and it was things that you'd think, how do you know that? But he just did. He just knew that, and he was a very well-read man. Would you understand with him that he also used to like to read? Not particularly, right? He didn't read books or anything, right? Okay, why am I seeing that then? Okay. With his work, going to his work now, with his work, would his work have been, I feel that it would have been, I feel that books would have been involved, whether they were reference books or something like that, but I do feel that books would have been involved, and I do feel his job he would have had to use his brain, you know, to do the work that he did. He's not showing me what he did, but I keep going to my hands, so I don't know if it was something to do, I don't know whether it was something to do with drawing, but I don't mean drawing in an art form. I mean, I can see him in front of like one of those big tables, and he's just doing that. I don't know, don't tell me what he did for a job, but I just feel that he would have worked within an office environment. No, right, that's wrong then. Okay, I will take that back. That's probably for somebody else. Did you understand when I was going with the hands? Right, no, I didn't. I'm not going to say oh yeah, that's it, because I didn't pick that up with him. All I do know about him was that he really worked hard, and he did need to have a knowledge to do the job that he did, okay? And I also feel he was quite knowledgeable to the people that he worked with. Would you understand that? And would you also understand with him that people would, okay, would you understand that he may have held a position where he would have been there to help other people? Yeah, right, okay. Because I feel with him that he was a well-liked man at work, because he was a man that would take his time to explain. He would never, what's the word? He would never talk down to anybody. And for that, he gained a lot of respect. He was very well liked and well loved as well, I think, because of the gentleman that he was. I do feel with him that he liked his home comforts. Yeah. I just feel with him, he was a gentleman that would come home, and there would be, I don't know if his tea would be on the table, but he was well looked after. And he enjoyed that, but he also appreciated that. It wasn't something that he would have expected to be done, but he was very appreciative that it was done. Okay, and I can also see him sitting in, would you remember in the house, would he have had his own chair that he would have sat in? And I think it would have been, would it have been a higher backed chair? Yeah, and also on the back of the, I'm really going for it now, I feel that it would have been fabric, some sort of, I don't feel it was leather, but I do feel that it was sort of, it had like, I don't know how to say it, there was a groove and a sort of bit down the side. On the back, the chair, the way the chair was, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, and can you understand that? Yeah, because that was his favourite chair, and that was where he liked to sit. And I do still get that he liked to read. So would you understand that he would read a newspaper while sitting in the chair? He would read a newspaper, because I can see him with that newspaper, and I don't feel it was what I would call a sensationalised newspaper. I think he would have liked to have read about the proper news as well. I also feel with him that he was very family orientated as well, and family were important to him, and all those around him as well, you know, all his extended family that he had. And I do feel he would have liked nothing more for all of the family to be together, and just have a good time. I don't feel he was a gentleman that would have gone out down the pub a lot, if at all, I would say. I'm not saying he didn't like a tipple every now and again, because I feel that he did, but I don't feel he was a beer or lager drinking man. He was more of a shorts man, I would say. You can understand that with him as well, can you? Right, lovely. Okay, right. Would you understand the names George or David? Can you take either of those names? No? In connection with him? Or someone that you know that has those names? And also as well, I've got the month of May, I would say the second week in May, for an anniversary or some sort of celebration around the second week in May, whether or not you can take something there. Right, there you go then. Thank you, Spirit. Right, okay. Right, I'm going to go to the reason why he's come through this evening to see you, okay? Okay, so he's come through this evening. I don't know if you've had him come through for you very many times, but he's quite excited that he's come through to see you this evening. And he wants to say to you that it was a pleasure having you as an extra daughter. You know, he's saying that he thought of you as a daughter. He thought of you as part of his family. You molded so well into the family. And he enjoyed all the time that he had with you and his extended family. He also wants to say as well that he appreciates all that you and I do feel that it wasn't very comfortable for him, and I feel that in some way you already helped him to be able to cope with that, and he just wants you to know that you know you really did help, and it really as well. Okay, he's also saying, he's come through to say as well, understand sometimes you take on rather a lot. Maybe. Would you sometimes, what he's saying is that he wants you to just to slow down a little bit. He's saying that you need to slow down just a little bit to get your breath back. If you can understand that, lovely, right? Okay, so that's what he wanted to say, and he's just saying that you know you don't have to go at 95 miles all of the time, although you probably feel like you do. You don't, and he said, you know, you need to take that step back every now and again, and you just need to give yourself 5 minutes to relax and do what you want to do. Okay, so if I could leave his love with you and say thank you for working with me. Thank you. Okay, right, let's see what we've got next. Right, I've got a lady with me, and I feel this lady is Mother. This lady is probably about 5'6", 5'7", something like that. She's a well-built lady, I would say. She's also a very no-nonsense lady. I feel with her that she would she would say it how it was. Sometimes she would say slightly too much than she should have done. I don't feel that she actually meant it maliciously. She was just truthful and honest, this lady. She was no nonsense at all. She was a very practical lady. She dressed practically. And when I say that, I mean, she would have a skirt, a shirt, normal day wear on. I don't feel that she would have worn a lot of makeup. Those sorts of things didn't bother her. She was very confident in her own skin, I feel, this lady. And I feel that this lady would have passed to the spirit world. I do feel she would have passed to the spirit world with a heart condition. I don't know that it was a heart attack, but I do feel it was something to do with her heart and the valves around it. Can anybody understand that with Mother? You can. Can you understand everything that I've said to you? Yeah. Can anybody else understand it? No? Okay. Can I work with you then? So you would understand with this lady that she was no nonsense. And as I said, she was quite comfortable in her own skin. She didn't need makeup. She wasn't bothered about makeup. She was quite happy as she was. She's a very confident lady, I would have to say. Maybe not always, but on the outside, she really was together. And as I said, she had quite she said what she thought. And sometimes it didn't come out quite rightly. Sometimes it came out not quite the way that she meant it to come out. Saying that, as I said, it was never said with maliciousness. It was just her truth. Somebody asked her something, she would tell them the truth, and some people don't like that, but that's what she was, what you see get. I do feel with her, though, that she was quite popular. I do feel she would have had, a circle of friends that she was close and she was tight with. And I do feel also as well that she could be quite, I feel like she was a leader. That's the way I feel with her. She would have led. So, if she was doing something or she was doing something with her friends or family, she would be the instigator and the leader. And that was quite okay for everybody else because she was good at it as well. She was very good at organising things. Would you understand with her that she would talk quite, because I feel like I'm talking quite fast. And that, or else if I'm not, it's not because my voice is fast. I feel that she liked talking. That's what it is then. She liked to talk. And she knew everything that was going on around her as well. There wasn't much that you could get past her. She knew what was going on in around her area. I do feel with this lady that she was a real hard-working lady. Yeah, and I feel that she would have had to have worked, to help, to put food onto the table. Okay, I'm going to go with what came first. Would you remember, or would you understand that she would have done manual work? And when I say manual work, would she have worked on the land? Not that I'm aware of, no. Not that you're aware of, right? Okay. But I do feel that she would have been, because I can see her down on her knees scrubbing. I can see her down on her knees. I don't know if that was in her house or whether I can see her scrubbing like that. Did you have like a step outside your, like a stone step or one outside the back? Yes. Yeah, because I can see her scrubbing it. So I just feel that she was, I feel that she liked her house to be clean.
Yeah, well, she could do it, yeah.
Right, okay. Her house may not have been a palace, but it was her house and she was proud of it and she had worked hard for it, I feel. And, you know, she was very, and I also feel with her as well that she liked to have people round for a cup of tea and a chat. And I do feel that the world was put to rights quite a lot around those chats between however many people there were. I could see one person, I can see 3 or 4 people. So I do feel that the world would have been put to rights. And I also feel that there would have been tea. And would you remember that she would have had a teapot?
She did to begin with, and then she had left on.
Right, but she had a teapot with the tea in, you know, properly as you do. And it also, I do feel that she would have used leaves at one time, so you'd have had to have used. Yeah, that's what she's showing me. Okay. Whether or not she went to instant like the rest of us later on, I don't know, but she's showing me that, you know, and that was sort of like the centre, and she'd have, and I do feel she liked her sweet things, she liked her cakes and things, and there would always be a slice of cake or a jam tart. I can see jam tart. I love jam tarts. I can see jam tarts with her. Okay, so I do feel that she could be strict at times, or she had routines that were followed, and she had to do that to, you know, bring some order into your life, into your lives. She thought that was a good thing. Okay. And I do feel that as you got older, you would have clashed at times, because I do feel you were quite alike in some ways. So, you know, there would be times that you would have disagreements, shall we say. And it was hard work to win a disagreement with your mum, I have to say that. But you did. But I also feel with her as well that you admired her. You know, you were proud of your mum, proud of the fact that she, you know, she went out, she worked, she provided. And I feel with her as well that you would have always had a meal on the table, even if that meal wasn't what you would call a substantial meal, but whatever it was, it would always be something that was well made, well nourished, and you would feel like you would have had a meal. So that, you know, that's what I feel with her, that is what she would have done. And I also feel with her in her younger years that she probably, it was quite tough for her growing up at times, I feel. And so because of that, she learnt to be strong, because in the end, that's what she was. She was strong, and she said what she thought. Some people may have thought that she was opinionated, but she wasn't really. She just told it as it was. Yeah, you would understand that with her. Would you also understand with her that she's saying that she was quite an independent lady? You know, she liked to think that she was independent, but when as she became more poorly, and you know, not great, and not being able to do as much, she found that very frustrating, because she had always been, you know, I'm an independent person, I don't need anybody. And I feel that she found it hard to accept help. And it was quite a battle to give her help. But in the end, she did take that. Okay? Right, I'm going to go to the reason why she's come through to see you this evening. Okay. Right. Okay, so, God, I'm all cold. She's come through this evening. She wants to say a couple of things, really. But the first thing she wants to say is that she is genuinely and really proud of how you have lived your life and lived your life the way that you wanted to live it, if that makes sense, if you understand that. That's what she's saying to me. She's saying that you are a strong woman, and you do stand your ground. And, you know, if you think something is right or something is worth fighting for, then you will do that, and you won't back down, because, and normally you're right. You know, she's saying you've got a good head on you. You know what you want out of life, and you just go and get it. And she said, she's like, thumbs up for that, you know, because I think she's taken some of the credit for that. So the way she brought you up, but she's saying thumbs up, you know, I'm really proud of you for the way that you conduct yourself and the way that you live your life. She's also saying as well that, she's also saying as well that you need to, again, as I said to the other lady, there are times when you need to take a moment. You need to take a step back from what you are doing. Would you understand that? How can I put this? Would you understand that you have had some challenges along the way in your life? Yeah, you would understand that. That's the best way that I can say that. You've had challenges, and she's saying, you know, you have worked through them, because you're not going to sit down and not do anything. You've worked through them. But she is saying that just give yourself a little bit more care and comfort. I don't feel that you do that for yourself. I feel that you're always got something on the go. You're always doing something. And it can include doing things for other people also. But what she's saying is you need to take a little bit of time for yourself as well, you know? And she said, by doing that, you'll have a lot more energy to keep going and doing what you're doing. Because I do feel also with you that at times your energy levels sometimes become a little bit low with you. Yeah, you would understand that. Okay, lovely. So I'm going to leave her love with you, and she's also given me, I don't even know what these look like, so she's given me a bunch of dahlias to give to you. I have no idea what they look like, but she's asked me to give those to you, and with all her love. Thank you. Right. Okay, let's see who we've got now. Okay, so I have now got another gentleman, and this gentleman is tall. He's probably about 6 foot, if not 6'1", 6'2". He's very tall and he's very slim. He stands quite tall and regimental. So that, to me, that I would feel that he may have spent time in the services. I don't know what services. They're not telling. It's just the way that he stands. He's not presenting himself to me in any sort of uniform. He's presenting himself to me in a smart trousers and jacket with a shirt. And I also feel as well that he would have had one of those, what do they call them? Is it trilby hats? He would have had one of those, and he would have worn that and taken that off. He's got quite distinctive features, and when I say that, he's not got a really thin face, but he's got really quite prominent cheekbones. It's like his face is chiseled, and I feel that this gentleman would have passed the spirit with a lung condition, because my chest feels tight, and I feel like I can't catch my breath. So I do feel it would have been a lung condition that took him to the spirit world. Can anybody understand that with grandfather? Nope. What can you understand? Was he, okay, if he wasn't slim, was he normal build? Yeah, because it's just that his face, it's his chiseled features, you know, that, and as I say, I don't think it was because he was really sallow when he was younger, but it's quite prominent, and you would understand the trilby hat as well. Yeah, and would you understand that he would have served in the forces? I don't feel that he would have done it for his entire life, because he's showing me he's in like a suit. But I do feel that he would have served in the military. If he does tell me, then I'll say, but I'm not gonna make it up. Okay. And would you were close to your grandfather? Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. He was a very, again, with this gentleman, I don't feel that in a crowd he was overly outgoing. I just feel he was the strong and the silent type. And that's the way he was. And that's the way he'd always been. I do feel that when he was in the military, I don't know if you know this, or whether you can ask this if you can't take it, but would you understand when he was in the military that he would have been in charge of soldiers or men? You don't know. Maybe you could ask that, because I'm getting the feeling with him that he was the type of gentleman that he wouldn't have asked anybody else to do anything that he wouldn't do, is what he's saying to me. I feel he was like that in life as well. But I do, so maybe you could check that. I just feel that he was maybe slightly higher than just, you know, I say soldier, but it could be, I don't know what sort of services it was with him. Yeah, okay. Would you understand with him also that he was a well-read man as well? He liked to read as well. And I do feel he really liked having his head in a book. He was a real sort of bookworm. And I do feel that there would have been quite a lot of books in his house. Would he have had a room where he would go and read? Would there have been like a study? No. Okay. I can see a load of books on a shelf, so I don't know if there would have been. Do you know that, or? Right. Okay. Okay. But whatever, he did love a book, and he loved to read, and he was very well read as well, I feel, with him. Would you understand with him also that he liked to be outside, he liked nature? I feel that he could take himself off, you know, and go for a couple of miles, go for a walk, you know, and he would really enjoy that. Would you also remember that you would have gone out on walks when you were a child? Because he's saying you would have gone also, and you would also find that you would find that it was fascinating, because your grandfather, he would know all these things about the birds and the cuckoos and the, you know, and the deer, and he had so many fascinating stories, and it would make you feel all the more magical for you. And they were really fun times, because that would be when he would, I want to use the word ignite, but that would be when he would come alive, you know, and he would chatter, and you know, and you really enjoyed that. And what he also did, he also listened. So he would listen to you, and he would ask you about what you'd been doing and what you liked, you know, rather than not say anything at all. But he was actually interested, and you liked that about him. Yeah, okay. Would you also understand with him? I get. Would he have liked to have played with him board games? Because I can see a table and I can see board games on it, and I feel that he really loved to play board games. And I do feel as well that he may not have shown it, but I do feel that he would have he liked to win. There was a competitive, but they were so fun, really fun to do. Would you also like to have played and see him with was it 21 or I don't play cards, so I don't know. But I do feel he would have liked to have played cards, and the games that you could have played as well. Okay. As I said, he was a strong and a silent type, and I do feel that he did like to be in his own company at times as well. And he would, I don't know, he would just sit and he would just contemplate and he would think about things. I feel that he was a real thinker. Family to him was very important, and not just his immediate family, but the family around, as in grandchildren. And he really did enjoy being with the family. Saying that, I do also feel with him that he was pleased when they went. Sometimes it was a bit chaotic. Yeah, you would understand with him as well. I just feel that with him, that it was just a little bit chaotic at times, and he liked his peace and quiet. Right, I'm going to go to the reason why he's come through to see you. Okay, so do you feel spirit around you? So he is saying that he is around you at the moment, okay? And he is also at the moment he's sending you healing, because I feel at the moment that you need some healing. Okay. I feel that at the moment there has been quite a lot going on. Are you all right? Do you want a tissue? Do you want me to carry on? Okay. I feel that there's been quite a lot going on at the moment, and it has really taken it out of you. And you are needing some healing and some strength. And your grandfather is here, and he is around you to say to you that he is here with that healing, you know, and he's not going anywhere. You know, he is around, okay? What he's also saying as well is that you are a lot stronger than you think you are, okay? If you understand that, you're a lot stronger than you think you are. And he's saying, even though it is hard at the moment and hard sometimes to get that motivation, to get yourself through, he said, just keep on plugging away and keep on pushing and keep on using that strength that you have. But also, he's saying, never lose sight of who you are. I don't know if you, because of stuff that's going on, whether you're a little bit awry at the moment, but he's saying, never lose sight of who you are, because who you are is a beautiful person, okay? So if I could leave his love with you and say thank you for working with me. Thank you. Okay. Okay, let's see who we've got. Right, okay. I've got a lady with me, and she's not very tall at all. She's about 5 foot, if she's that, 5'1" maybe. She's quite a well-built lady. I do feel that this lady is. I'm going to say grandmother. Yeah, I'm going to say grandmother, or like a grandmother. She's a very bubbly lady. She's a glass half full lady. She likes to look nice, and I feel that this lady, she liked nice bright colours, because she's presenting herself to me. She's got sort of like a skirt on and a jacket on and a nice flouncy blouse. That's what she said, not me. And she loved her bold colours, and I do feel as well that she would have liked to have worn a bit of makeup, and she would have always had her hair done just so. She's just so bubbly, this lady. She passed the spirit world with, okay, I feel that she had quite a few things that she went to the spirit world with. I still think it was to do with her heart as well. Again, I don't know that it was a heart. Towards the end of her life, that she would have got slightly, she would have also got slightly confused, but she would have got slightly confused. A bubbly lady, but she was short. No? Was she not a happy person? That's just that way she's making me feel. Did you put your hand up as well? Can you understand her being really bubbly and really? Yeah, I think I'm sorry. Keep listening, but I do think I'm. So this lady, she was like a little pocket rocket. She really was bubbly, and she liked to look nice. And she was a lady that would, I'm not saying she wouldn't get her hands dirty, and she was a hard-working lady, but she did like to look nice. And she also liked the fact that she liked to stand out in the crowd, shall we say. She was very chatty, so I do feel that she had quite a big circle of friends, but I do feel with her also that she would be the one who would be organizer, because she was very good at doing that. She liked to do that. When she went out, I do feel that I don't know if her ears were pierced, but she would always like to wear a necklace and matching rings. And the ones, what she's got on, or what I can see on her, I don't know if they're real or not, but they're like pearl, with the pearl earrings. But whenever she wore jewellery, it was always matching. And I do feel with her as well that she would have had a jewellery box on her dressing table, and there would have been, I'm not saying that they were really expensive jewellery, but there was a lot of it, and it was something that you would like to go through and have a look at. And would you also understand that when she would sometimes sit and get ready, that you would sit and watch how she would put her makeup on, and she would sometimes let you have a little bit of lipstick, don't tell your mother sort of thing, yeah. I feel, would you remember with her, I can hear music, so I feel that she would have liked to have danced, and I feel that she was quite a good dancer as well. And when I say good dancer, I don't mean down the disco or anything like that. I mean, proper dancing. And she loved to go to what they call tea dances, or to the village hall where they'd have an afternoon of dancing, and it would be she would sound, and she didn't mind who she she could dance with a partner. I also feel as well that there would have music on in the house when she was at the radio, but and I can see her sort of singing along, while she was, I don't know, chopping vegetables or doing something. Again, with your grandmother, I do feel that she liked to entertain. She liked nothing more than to entertain, and she would always put a good spread on as well. I feel you'd have everything. You'd have the sandwiches, you'd have the pork pie, you'd have the pickles, you'd have, I don't know, what's that fish you could get as well in a tin. My nan always used to have that, like the salmon or and it would be like a proper spread. And she was very proud of her spreads. I do feel that she was quite a good cook as well, and she enjoyed cooking. I also feel with her as well that she would have liked sweet things. She would, and I do cake, a piece of pork pie, and would you also? She would have, like pick a mix sweets when they're still on, and as well there you also get a bag of pick and mix sweets, and they would be eaten with they've been eaten with gusto. They wouldn't have lasted very long. No, okay. With your grandmother, I do feel that she was quite active in her community as well. She did done quite a lot for the community. She could, she would give time to most things. She would volunteer. Would you remember if? Oh, right, okay. Would she have gone to church? Yeah, because I can see her Sunday best, and that meant quite a lot to her. I feel that she was. Excuse me. I feel that she was quite regular every week. I feel that she was quite as well, and that sort of took her time. Also, as well, she was again fun to be around, and you like to be around her. You like to have watched her cook, and I feel when she would have made the bowl. I could do that now, would we? Really? But yeah, I can as well. Would you understand the name Daisy? Does the name Daisy anything to you? No. Okay. All right. Florence? No. Okay. I don't know. Take them back. Okay. I'm going to go to the reason why she's come through to see you. Just have a quick sip of water. Just before I do, so you understood as well that it was her heart, but also that she got a little bit confused towards the end of her life. You also had that, although to start with that wasn't very noticeable, it became very noticeable to the point where there was obviously something wrong, and she obviously didn't know this, but yeah, it did get quite bad. Okay, so I'm going to go to the reason why she's come through to see you. So she's come through to see you again, to give you, not only to give you healing, but to give you an enormous, great big hug as well, and also to tell you off, not to say, feel that you're a little bit, it's a little bit of the place, and it's difficult for you, and it's a bit of a struggle. What your grandmother is saying is, she goes, she wants to see that little girl, the little girl that was full of life, full of hopes and dreams for herself and for those around her that she loved. Okay? And she wants you to have that self-belief in yourself again. Yeah, she's saying, sorry in a bit, but she's there. You just need to bring it out. You have within you. You are a caring person. You just need to push your way through and to find that essence of that little girl that was so full of what was to come. Okay, if you can understand that with her. And so she's saying, and she is also saying that, you know, if you need her, just talk to her, and it will respond to you. Okay? So I leave a
Thank you. Sure, we can give her a round of applause.
frozen.
Yeah, I think we're all feeling a bit cold.
I think they've been
moment,
around
actually.
tonight, haven't they?
We're all feeling a bit cold at the moment. Yeah, thank you, Claire. That was really lovely.
Thank you.
Some of the cake was lovely. Thank you, Tony, for his healing wisdom, and thank you for coming. And I'll take the clothes there, please.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
She won't give me a microphone.
Oh, it's mine.
When a big coming. Before I close, mention who. Do you want me to mention who's next week?
I don't know who it is.
Oh,
so
right.
Might,
That's all right.
better.
A medium next week. So this is how we sort things out on the fly. Our medium next week is the lovely Michael Gooch, back again. He is one not to miss. For those that are racking their brains, he's the one I think I'm related to via my great-grandmother. Only because they've got the same surname, but there you go. But yes, so Michael will be back next week, as will we all, I hope. There was one thing that I did just want to say. You know the HMS Spirit that I was talking about in my address? Well, you know you can get carriers and frigates and battleships and destroyers. Do you know what kind of ship the good ship Spirit is? A medium ship. I've only spent the last 2.5 hours thinking of that. I should have said it during the philosophy, but I forgot. So yes, so it's the medium ship. Well, friends, let's join together and close this evening in prayer. And promise you that the jokes never get better. Great Spirit, Father, Mother, God, we thank you for this opportunity to come together as friends, to light the world with love and upliftment, compassion, healing, and truth. As we go out into the world, Great Spirit, we ask that the healing love, the upliftment, and the experiences that we've shared today carry us forward on our journey in life, and that we ask for all the love in the world to be illuminated, grown, magnified, and built upon. For we know, Great Spirit, that we live in different times, difficult times, and that there are challenges ahead. But we also remember, Great Spirit, that it is we who can make those changes. And so, in times of difficulty and strife, we ask you not to move the mountain. Just give us the strength to climb until we meet again in your name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Nick. So you're all waiting to see what I'm going to say. Tea and coffee, cake left in there, biscuits. Help yourself. You don't have to rush home. Stay and talk, chat to us, chat to Nick, chat to Claire, chat to me, chat to Tony, or chat to each other. Just make yourselves at home, and hopefully we'll see you all next week. Thank you ever so much for coming. Take care. Oh, the raffle! You're waiting for the raffle. Thank you.
And we'll see everybody online next week.